When we use unless, it means that we substitute the if not. For example, give me a moment because as usual, I don't know why, but doesn't come. If Laura doesn't come, she will miss the class. Okay, if Laura doesn't come, she will miss the class. So I take the if and the doesn't, and I change both of this. I change by unless. Okay, my sentence changes unless Laura comes, she'll miss the class. So notice that I eliminate the if and I eliminate the auxiliary. Of course, if I eliminate the auxiliary, I have to change the verb. So unless Laura comes, she will miss the class. If Tony doesn't get to the office early, his boss will fire him. Okay, so I eliminate the if and the doesn't. And I change all that expression by unless. Okay, so I change and say, unless Tony gets to the office early, comma, his boss will fire him. I can also let me give another example with a different subject. If I don't go to the doctor, I will keep on feeling sick. I will continue feeling sick. So I eliminate the if. I eliminate the don't, and I substitute by unless. Okay? Let's change the color to blue. And I change the sentence and I say, unless I go to the doctor, I'll keep on feeling sick. Okay? So whenever you have an if in negative, you use the unless. If the if is affirmative, we don't use unless. Okay? Questions? Especially Guido and Carlos who didn't come yesterday.
Yes, easy for a moment.
For the moment, it is easy. And Eduardo and Maria can smile.
It's okay, Mom.
Yes, because yesterday we did some exercises on this and it was tricky
We have, yes, we have some struggles with
with
that.
the if plus negative. Okay, so let me remember all this is going to be in the classroom. Okay, including this small
Miss,
chart. Yes.
sorry, sorry, I interrupt, but I can go to the classroom because just appear for me the part with the last part we studied with Mr. Jonathan.
No, I'm gonna
I
because
understand.
maybe you didn't copy the link. Okay, at the end of the class, please remind me to give you the link. Okay, remind me to give you the
Okay,
link. Okay,
okay, thank
so
you. Sorry.
and don't worry, this same example is going to be set in the classroom. Okay, so don't worry about it. Let me take the picture. Okay, give me a second while I get the exercises. Okay, taki, 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 taki. Here it is. All right. And let me get some exercises with unless. Okay, unless. This doesn't work. Unless in conditionals. No, it doesn't work. Let me see if we did this yesterday. Yes, we did this yesterday. Because this one we did yesterday. First conditional, no, it's not unless. No. No, it's not easy to find exercises with unless. Because if unless, because we did a lot of exercises yesterday. Let's do this. Let's begin with this. Remember, unless means if not. Okay? If or unless, let me put it larger so Eduardo, who is at the cell phone, can see them better. And let's begin.
Thank
Unless or if. Remember, this means if not. Okay, so let's begin. Guido, unless we leave now or if we leave now, we will be late.
If.
Remember. Okay, remember, unless means if in negative. So you try to make it negative. If we leave now, we will be late, or if we don't leave now, we will be late. Which one is logical?
For me, it's unless.
For you, it's unless. Carlos, what do you think? If or unless? Carlos.
Unless.
Unless for you? Eduardo, if or unless?
Okay, let me see. If.
If.
Mm-hmm.
So Guido says if, and the question was for him, so let's write if. When we check, in case it is wrong, so Carlos and Maria would have been right. Unless or if he studies harder, he'll fail the exam. Let's see, Carlos, if or unless? And remember, unless means if not.
Unless.
Unless. Okay, Eduardo? If or unless?
I'm agree with Carlos. It's
Unless.
unless.
You agree?
Unless. Yes.
Okay. Guido, if or unless?
Unless.
Unless. Maria?
Unless to miss.
Unless. Number 3, Maria, we want to understand unless or if our teacher explains.
I forgot what never use with negative. So
Remember, we can use negative in the future sentence, but not in the if. Okay?
oh, okay, miss, but this not a future sentence.
Remember, you have to take into account this sentence. Okay? This is the one that you need to notice. This one.
If
Okay, this is the one. Sorry, this is not the one. We're here. This is the one you need to take into account. Okay, we want to understand if our teacher explains or if our teacher doesn't explain.
If
So,
Eduardo, if or unless? If. Guido, if or unless?
unless.
Unless. Carlos?
Unless.
Unless. So as Maria was the question for her, let's write the if. If it is wrong, the others were right. Okay. Eduardo, unless or if you work hard, you won't pass the exam.
Unless.
Unless. Guido?
Unless.
Unless. Carlos?
Unless.
Unless. Maria?
unless.
Unless. Okay, Guido. We don't hurry, we'll miss the start of the film. This is a negative sentence. And in English, you don't use two negatives at the same time.
Eh, It's if.
If. Maria, if or unless?
Unless, Miss.
Carlos, if or unless?
If.
If. Eduardo?
Unless.
Unless. So as Guido said, if, we're gonna write if. Okay. Let's continue. Carlos, unless or if you don't come to the party, I won't tell you my secret, So Carlos, if you don't come to the party or unless you don't come to the party?
If.
If. Eduardo, if or unless?
If.
If. Guido, if or unless?
And I don't see the last word in the
Secret.
sentence.
The
I don't.
last word is secret.
Okay. If.
If. So must say if, it is if. Okay, Eduardo, unless or if people do more recycling, there will be rubbish everywhere. If or unless?
If.
If. Guido?
There will be
Rubbish. Rubbish everywhere. Rubbish, garbage everywhere.
everywhere.
So unless or if?
It's
Eduardo
unless.
says if. You say unless. Carlos, if or unless?
If.
If. Maria, if or unless?
Unless.
Unless. Eduardo said if, most of you said if. Maria, unless or if my sister doesn't eat regularly, she will be sick.
If.
If. Eduardo, if or unless?
If.
If. Guido?
If.
If. So most of you said if. If my sister doesn't eat regularly, she will be sick. Carlos, unless you don't tell anyone, if you don't tell anyone, no one will know. If or unless?
Unless.
Unless. Eduardo?
Unless.
Unless. Guido?
Unless.
Unless. Maria?
If.
If.
No. Sorry, Miss.
Okay, so you think it is unless?
Yes.
Okay. Let me put here the capital letters because maybe it's gonna say it's wrong because of the capitals. Okay, unless in here is if in capitals. Because these pages are really tricky with this. Carlos, no, Guido, I won't have any money unless or if my dad gives me more. I won't have any money
Unless.
unless my dad gives me more. So Guido,
Yes.
if or unless?
Unless.
Unless. Eduardo?
Unless.
Unless. Maria?
Unless, Miss.
Unless. Okay. So let's check. Okay. Remember that unless is if not. So if I write here, does it make sense? If we don't leave now, we will be late. Does it make sense? ¿Tiene sentido? Yes or no? Let's see. Eduardo, does it make sense? If we don't leave now, we will be late. Eduardo fell. No, Eduardo is here. Eduardo, does this make sense? Does it is logical? Is this logical? If we don't leave now, we will be late? Yes or no? Oh my God, you can't listen.
It's very logical.
It is logical. Okay, Guido, if we don't leave now, we will be late. Is that logical? So if we change if and don't, we substitute by unless.
Okay.
That's why in this sentence, unless is correct. Si no nos vamos, vamos a llegar tarde. Llegaremos tarde. Okay? So remember, we use if not. Let's continue. This is correct. And here I can say, if our teacher doesn't explain, we won't understand. We won't understand if our teacher doesn't explain. Does it make sense? Is that logical, Guido? We won't understand if our teacher doesn't explain. Is that logical?
No.
Eduardo, is that logical? We won't understand if our teacher doesn't explain.
Of course, it's logical.
Of course it's logical.
We don't understand it, claro.
Yes.
Sure.
So I eliminate the if, I eliminate the doesn't, and I substitute this with unless. Unless we won't understand unless our teacher explain. Okay, that's the way it is. So you need to find the logics. So likewise here. If people do more recycling, there will be rubbish everywhere. The other option is if people don't do more recycling. If people don't do more recycling, comma, there be more Rubbish everywhere. Is that logical? So we eliminate the don't, we eliminate the if, and we change by unless. Unless people do more recycling, there will be more rubbish everywhere. Remember, unless is if not. And here you have the negative. Okay, you have the negative. So unless plus a negative, no. If plus a negative. Okay, like here, if, don't. Questions up to now?
No.
Guido, Carlos,
No, miss.
Maria, do you have any question?
No.
Let's keep on practicing. Okay, remember, if plus negative, okay, unless you, don't tell me or tell me, Eduardo,
Tell me.
tell me. What is wrong? I won't be able to help.
To help
Guido,
you.
if he doesn't wear the warm clothes, he will catch a cold. Unless he, I eliminate the doesn't. So what happens with the verb? Unless he
Where?
wears. Because I eliminate the doesn't, so the verb changes. Carlos, if it doesn't rain tomorrow, I will water the plants. Unless it doesn't
Rain.
rains. Maria, we will be late if we don't take a cab. We will be late unless we don't take or only take.
Take.
Take a cab, because unless is the negative form for will, for if. Okay? Eduardo, I you a gift unless you good grades. The first one is the same. I will. I will give you a gift unless you
Unless you. Okay. I will give you a gift unless you get
good grades. Okay. Now we're gonna do
Get-
the opposite. We're gonna change unless by if in negative. Our gardener will cut the grass if it doesn't rain tomorrow. So we substitute the unless by the if in negative. It's the opposite process. Okay, for example, unless we do the homework, our teacher won't be pleased. If we don't do the homework, our teacher won't be pleased. Okay, so we're going to change unless by if in negative. Carlos, unless she hurries, she won't arrive on time.
If she doesn't hurry.
If she doesn't hurry, she won't arrive on time. Maria, unless it rains, we will go camping.
If it
Negative?
it
If it, negative for that sentence.
doesn't
If it doesn't
rain.
rain. No
Rain.
S,
Rain.
no S because
No
the
S.
doesn't is there. Guido, unless she buys the tickets, she won't go to the concert. If
She doesn't buy the ticket.
the tickets, if she doesn't buy the tickets, she won't go to the concert. Eduardo, I will forget to call you unless you remind me. I will forget to call you if
you doesn't
you doesn't.
remind me.
You doesn't or you don't. Negative
You
for you?
don't.
You don't.
You don't remind me.
Thank you, Maria. If you don't remind me, remember doesn't is for he, she, and it. This is I will give, but they want a contraction. Okay, perfect. You're getting the idea. Okay, let me see. There are 15, yes. So here you're going to choose between if or unless. I meet him, I will tell him a whole story. Okay, so let's begin with Maria. If or unless. Remember, unless is if in negative. If I don't meet him, does it make sense?
Unless I meet him, I will tell him a whole story.
Okay, remember, is if in negative. If I don't meet him, I will tell him a whole story. So if I don't meet him, I can tell him a story. Okay. Remember, you have to think if this sentence in negative makes sense, is logical. Carlos, we hurry, we will arrive in time. If we hurry or if we don't hurry.
If
we
we
hurry, we will.
done.
Okay. If we hurry, we will arrive in time. Guido, I'm going to help my grandmother in the garden if it rain or unless it rain. Hmm? If or unless? Unless it rains. Eduardo, you start writing your essay now. You will finish it at 6 p.m.
If
Maria, we will get lost in the forest. We find the map. If we find the map or unless we find the map.
Unless we
Find the map. Carlos, you will be late again. You don't hurry. If you don't hurry or unless you don't hurry.
If
Because this is a negative sentence. Okay, good. Carlos, Eduardo, sorry, Guido, you can go out with your friends. You finish your homework.
You can't go out with your friend if
you finish your homework. Eduardo, I will take an umbrella if it rains or unless it rains. Umbrella with M, no N. Umbrella. Oh my God. I would take an umbrella
if it rains.
If it rains. Maria, I can't do this math homework. If you help me. Carlos, I have time tomorrow. I will go and see you. If or unless. Okay, Guido, you study hard, you will achieve a great success. Achieve, lograr.
If.
If. Eduardo, you help me with these dishes, we won't be able to go to the cinema today.
Unless.
Unless you help me. Okay, Maria, I will be surprised. Unless he wins a lottery. Guido, he will not be able to buy that expensive house. He wins a lottery.
He will go.
He will not be able to buy that expensive house
Unless.
unless he wins the lottery. Carlos, the weather is fine. We will go hiking. If the weather is fine, we will go hiking. Okay? Okay, I can do this math tomorrow if you help me. So if you give help, he can do. It is not logical. If you don't help me. Okay, I can't do this math homework if you don't help me. So here is unless you help me. And here, I will be surprised he wins a lottery. I will be surprised if he wins a lottery, because I will be surprised if he doesn't win a lottery. It doesn't make sense. Okay, let's do one last exercise. If it doesn't rain, we'll leave early in the morning. Okay, so Maria. Maria.
Miss, unless it rains, we'll leave early in the morning.
Only it rains. Unless it rains, we'll leave early.
It rains. We'll leave early in the morning.
Okay, Guido.
Unless we catch the bus.
And the rest is the same.
We'll walk to the next door.
Stop. Bus stop. Carlos.
Unless we careful, we'll fall down the stairs.
Eduardo.
Okay. Unless your hat isn't tied well.
Is or isn't?
Isn't tied well.
Tied
it will
well.
be blown. It will be blown away.
Blown away. Blown away.
Blow.
Se va a ir volando. If unless your hat
With
isn't
N,
tied well,
with
your
the
hat isn't
letter
tied. Atado.
N in the end, it's not just blow, no?
No, because this is passive voice. It will be blown away by the wind. This is passive. Okay?
Okay.
Maria, if we don't study, we won't pass the exam.
Unless we
Mhm.
unless we study, we won't pass the exam.
Guido, if you don't use the sailboat, velero will use it.
Unless you use the sailboat, we will use it.
Carlos, if she doesn't miss the train, she'll get there by this afternoon. Unless,
She missed the train. She'll get there by this afternoon.
okay. Eduardo, if Bill isn't at home, I don't know where he is.
Unless Bill isn't at home, I don't
Isn't,
know where he is.
isn't
Isn't.
at home. I don't
I don't know where he is.
know where he is. Guido, if the museum isn't closed, we'll stay until 2.
Unless the museum is closed.
Museum.
Museum.
Mew, like meow. Mew.
Museum.
Museum. It's closed.
We'll stay
Yes.
until
2.
2
Okay.
p.m.
Change to if not. I mean, I'll eat the fish if you don't want it. So we make the opposite. We're gonna change by if in negative. Okay, Maria, unless you get there early, you will have to stand up.
If
If
you don't get there early, you'll have to stand up.
you will have to stand up. Okay, Carlos?
They'll lose the game if they don't practice a lot.
Nice. Okay, Eduardo?
Okay. I can go to university unless I make good grades. I can go.
If I don't, remember we change into the negative.
If I sorry. If I don't.
Don't make good grades.
Good grades.
Okay, Guido? You'll see me at the library unless you see me at the laboratory. You
see
see
at the library. If you don't see me at the laboratory.
at the laboratory. Maria will have to leave the classroom unless we stop talking.
We'll
Well,
have to leave the classroom if we don't stop talking. We don't stop talking.
if we don't stop talking. And it's not here. Eduardo, unless they obey the rules, they'll get in trouble.
Unless they
If
don't
they don't
obey the rules, they'll get in trouble.
in trouble. Guido,
If you don't go to her party, she won't come to yours.
okay, Eduardo,
Okay. I won't go swimming unless the
if,
water if
remember,
the
we're
water
changing by if not.
is,
I won't go swimming if the water
isn't warm.
okay, Guido, the fruit tree,
The fruit tree won't grow if you don't water it frequently.
remember in this case, water is the verb, regar. If you don't
Water is a verb
water,
too?
yes. Water can be a verb and it means regar, regar las matas. Okay, finish, check. Okay, now eat the fish if you don't want it. It's correct. Okay, unless you get there, if you don't get there early, I forgot there. They lose the game if they don't practice a lot. Is correct. I can't go to the university if I don't make good grades. Correct, correct, correct. If they don't obey the rules, they'll get in trouble. Okay. If you don't go to her party, she won't come to yours. It's okay. If I don't make good grades, if they don't practice, if you don't get up early, yes. I don't know why they put, maybe if because I don't use capital letters. So questions about how to use unless and change by if not and vice versa, or no problem?
I think no problem.
No problem.
Maybe.
Eduardo?
So we have to remember transferring negative, right?
Yes, that unless is if in negative.
Okay.
And it has to make sense. It has to be logical. Carlos, do you have any question?
No, miss.
Guido, no problem?
No problem.
Okay, so we finish right now. Thank you for coming. Eduardo, stay
Miss,
for a minute.
please. Okay.